Okay, so earlier today I watched episode 7 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, aka The Elf Show. So one of the things that happened pretty early on in the episode was there's a flashback of Frieren and her party on their adventure with one of the grimoires belonging to her master. Excuse me, like one of the forgeries. And they're talking about how it's like, yeah, if there's so many forgeries, you can't really tell like what the genuine article is anymore. Who knows if there even is a genuine article? That person lived like so long ago, they're practically a fairy tale. And Frieren's kind of thinking to herself, like, which she does say out loud, she's like, yeah, it has been so long. It's almost kind of logical that people would think she's just a fairy tale, that people would almost kind of doubt that she exists, that she's a mythical figure. I'm probably the only person alive that even knows what she looks like. And Himmel overhears this. And there's a little bit later where they talk about like statues, because a lot of the different villages that they went to, they say from demons, either individual demons or just they killed the demon king, we want to revere them, built a lot of statues. And that Himmel wanted statues built pretty much everywhere. One, because he is very vain, and that is something that I enjoy, for being this really empathetic hero and a really good person, which he genuinely no bullshit was. He still had his flaws, he still had his vanity, it's something I appreciate. But on top of that, he even says, he's like, I want people to remember us. I don't want us to just be a fairy tale, and we're not going to live forever. We're certainly not going to live as long as you. I don't want you to be alone. Like, I want you to have that reminder of us. And that, like, when you go to some of these places, you remember your friends and the people who loved you. And not quite to that degree, but it's essentially what he's saying. And it's really sweet. And, like, they go to this one town holding a festival and shit. And one of the guys is like, hey, you look a lot like that elf. And I'll put a quick pin in that. And she doesn't really answer his question, answer that, because in the last episode, she's like, yeah, I hate being recognized. It's just not pleasant. That's just not my scene. She's like, so, are people going to be celebrating this, like, even 100 years in the future? Oh, yeah, like, no question. Like, people love festivals and, like, honoring people even 1,000 years in the future? Well, I have no idea. It's like, I don't know if I can really say that far, but people, like human beings, have a short memory. That's why we like to build statues, so we remember the things that are important. That's why we have festivals, so we can commemorate things that are important, not only for us, but for future generations. And I really liked it. Taking the pen out about, like, wait, two elves look similar. That's not just a potentially racist thing. No, there are very, very few elves in the world. She says that there's not a lot of us. We live a long time, but we lack reproductive instincts, so we're getting close to extinction. I don't know how close we actually are, but probably further than I think. You're like, that's a pleasant thought to think about. Like, I wasn't expecting that conversation in the episode, but there we were. There were a couple fun interactions with Stark. One where Fern's like, hey, Mr. Stark, can you come over here and help me with something if you're not too busy? Fern, you don't have to call me mister. I mean, like, we're companions, we're about the same age, you don't have to be so formal. Okay. Stark, get over here and fucking help me, you useless sack of shit. Not exactly what she says, but pretty close. And he's like, I said you didn't have to call me mister because I didn't want you to be formal. I didn't want you to be an asshole. Like, I really enjoy Fern. I think Fern is so fun. Like, at the start of the episode, Frieren wakes up early, and she's like, oh my goodness, she woke up early. We have to praise her for this. I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure who's the mom in this relationship. It kind of goes back and forth, and I really dig it. There was another interaction with Stark that was less funny, and I was just more like, I really liked it, where he's like, yeah, I know I'm on this adventure with you guys, but I literally don't know where we're going or, like, what the plan is, so where are we going? Heaven. Oh, sounds nice. I don't know why, I just really dug that. It's like, where are we going? We're going to heaven. Dope. Like, sounds like a JRPG final dungeon or epilogue. Which I remember thinking about this, like, several years ago. Are there many games, like a JRPG, a Western RPG, or other, where the Garden of Eden is the final level? Because, you know, we joke about how it's like, yeah, like if it's a JRPG, you're gonna fight God, or some kind of a god, maybe an angel or a demon, but it's usually the kind of thing that happens. It's like you start off in your underwear fighting slimes and boars, and then you're fighting literal deities at the end. We're like, how many have actually taken place in the Garden of Eden? Off the top of my head, I really don't know. I think there's an argument about Persona 5. I don't remember if they specifically because I believe there is like a major garden at the end of Royal. I don't remember if they were specifically saying like this is supposed to represent the Garden of Eden or not. It's been a while since I played Royal. That sounds about right. I mean, the final Persona is Adam Cadmo, just not Adam, but it's still like the light of all creation and shit, so it kind of fits. I don't super remember, but if you can think of one, definitely let me know. So then we get to the town where Frieren immediately is like, something's off, I sense demons, sees a demon and is on site. She pulls out her staff, she's ready to fucking blast it. As it turns out, this town has been at war with demons for a long time. I think the name is Aura the Guillotine, is one of the demon lord's old subordinates who survived, but it's still been causing a ruckus, still been causing trouble. And, yeah, the demons are like, look, we want peace, let's not do this shit anymore. And the humans are like, we don't want to have to deal with demons either. So Frieren, for attacking one of the demon, like, envoys, is sent to the dungeon for 2 to 3 years, and she's like, oh, that's perfectly fine with me. Can you guys just get me some, like, grimoires to read? And Ferd and Sturk are like, we hate you so much. It's like, why are you okay with this? We get it, but also we don't. And they also and Stark's like, yo, like, I also, but here's what I really don't get. Why can't we talk things out with demons? It's like, they can talk, they can communicate. Isn't negotiation better than just fighting and lopping off heads? And Freyren's like, no. Because demons only speak to deceive. Like, we are their food source. Humans, elves, dwarfs, whatever. We are food to them. And any attempt to negotiate is just to lure us into a false sense of security. She tells this story about when she and the party were traveling and they met this demon child who had eaten a girl from the village. She was cornered. And Frieren was ready. She was like, I'm gonna fucking send her to the Shadow Realm. I'm gonna blast her. And Himmel's like, this is a child. I can't do this. And the little demon girl's like, Mom, it hurts. And he's like, this is fucking kid, dude. And then you got this woman in the background screaming like, she ate my child, kill her. Why aren't you doing it? And Freyren's like, dude, if you don't do it, I will. And he's like, I can't. So the village chief's like, hold on. This is a child. Maybe she genuinely doesn't know any better. Maybe we can help her. So he, who has a daughter, takes the demon girl in. And the family that lost their daughter is not happy about that. Freyren's not happy about it. And Himmel's like, look, we're going to stay in town for a while anyways. Let's do that. Maybe stay a little bit longer and see how this situation goes. So they do. And, you know, the demon girl is getting close to the human girl. She's getting close to the village chief. Everything's going nice. It's going hunky-dory. It's going dunky-hory. Then she kills the village chief, sets his house on fire, and is holding the girl. And the couple who lost the kid were like, we knew it. You're a piece of shit. You're a murderer. And she's like, look, I could feel from day one how much you hated me for killing your daughter. So here, look. Here's a daughter. I brought you a replacement as a peace offering. They're like, that's not our daughter. Like, that's his daughter. What about him? Well, he's dead. Like, it's not really his daughter anymore now, is it? And everyone, understandably, is very shaken by this really fucked up logic. And she's just kind of looking around like, oh, seems I misread the situation. well, guess this girl's my hostage now. And then Himmel just like cuts her arm off, holds the kid. Frieren's ready to go. It's like, Himmel, can I blast her now? Do it. So she blasts the demon. And in kind of like her dying moments as she's getting Thanos, that's kind of how it looks like. Miss Frieren, I don't feel so good. She's saying that, because I think Frieren asks her, it's like, why did you say that when you were cornered? Why were you asking for mom? Like, I know how demons are. They don't raise their children. They don't have a concept of family. And to which the demon says, she's like, yeah, like we know that that word, mom, whatever it is, it stops you from killing us. Like if we're cornered and we start saying, mom, we know we're fine. So I don't remember if the demon child said this or this is kind of what Frieren says afterwards. Like, but demons only use speech to deceive. They're like gazelle gambits. It's nothing more than a gambit. And then you see the demon envoys are cornered, about to be killed for, it's like, oh, you killed my son, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to get revenge. To which the demon guy says, he's like, but you killed my father. I'm sorry about what happened to your son. But killing me will only keep the cycle going. And the reason I'm here is to break the cycle. We took your son. You took my father. All of us have suffered. But let's bury the hatchet. And the guy's like, fine, we can do that. Then as the two of the demons are kind of walking away, they're like, hey, what's a father? I don't fucking know, but it worked. They're like, that's kind of funny. It's like, that's funny, that's fucked up. And like, okay, yeah, Frieren's right. Demons are a fucking problem. And then one of the three envoys breaks into her cell and is like, yeah, I understand that you're a problem, so we're just gonna kill you now. And she's like, are you sure? I'm pretty strong, you know. You think you're stronger than me? I'm stronger than your boss. And that's how the episode ended. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I don't know how big of a threat Aura is, because like I said, I haven't read the manga. I know nothing about future plot elements or plots. The only thing I know is at some point there's a tournament arc, which on the one hand, I'm like, does a story like this need a tournament arc? And then I go, yes, it does, because every story needs a tournament arc. I grew up watching a lot of Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like nothing but tournament arcs, and they're wonderful. That's all I know. I don't even know the context of the tournament arc. I just know one exists. So I don't know if it's like, okay, like Aura is a major antagonist and they're going to spend a while dealing with her. If it's just like a few chapters / a few episodes, like, yeah, you got to save the town and then you go fight her and you kill her. Maybe she becomes a party member. I have no idea, because I have no idea about the main cast. I don't know if it's just Frieren, Fern, and Stark. If there's more people that join. Her original party had 4 people, so I don't know if there is a 4th. I really don't know. But like I keep saying, like, I'm having a lot of fun. I like the show a lot. I think this was a really good episode. Very much looking forward to next week's.